with reading, this is one of the things we still experience, or going to a movie that they talk about, is this suspension of disbelief. You know how when you're reading a book, you kind of get removed, and it's like you use a sense of time and place or whatever. For the ancients, that was magic. I mean, that's fucking witchcraft. I mean, seriously. I mean, that's this idea that it could hold such sway over you and your imagination, and it then carries over, that storytelling could carry over into your everyday reasoning and logic. That goes way back. So, my name is Dr. Shaun Treat. I'm a former professor of Communication Studies at the University of North Texas, here in Denton, Texas. I ran a course called The Mythic Rhetoric of the American Superhero when I got here. I met Tim, who owns More Fun Comics and Games here on the square, whenever I first got to town, because I wanted to support local. And so we developed a friendship, and he was super active in the class. And so since half of my students had never read a comic book before, he became this kind of indispensable source of knowledge. I mean, the most surprising thing from somebody that's my age is how, if you consider that comics at one time, with a book by Frederick Wortham called Seduction of the Innocent, that they were actually put on trial in Congress for corrupting kids and possibly turning them into juvenile delinquents, creating sexual perversions, and reaching a point where comic books were almost de facto banned by the U.S. government, to now the biggest media companies in the world are standing in line over comics properties and to turn them into movies. I mean, that's mind-blowing. That's quite a flip. This is incredible. This comic's great. Like, why is it great? It's like, because you always heard that Darth Vader was this hugely feared person in the universe, but why? This story has him literally in the first issue going on a rampage, like in a TIE fighter versus a squadron of people, and blasting them, force crushing them, and like doing crazy stuff off the hook. It goes all the way back to classical Greece. I mean, with the invention of writing, Plato famously condemned writing because he felt speaking was the way to go. You have conversations with people, and whenever you commit something to writing, he compared it to leaving children alone, defenseless in the woods, with wolves roaming around, right? Right, we're just lightsaber. Oh, Anakin just, that's it. No one can anticipate why these things hit, but when they do, to me, there's some type of psychological kernel that says something about our popular culture, our culture at large, and also, but our hopes, anxieties, fears, right? I mean, so many people, their eyes will glaze if I want to talk about, Nietzsche's moral ethics, or talk about, phenomenology, or Hume and the idea of human reason. They just go, but you put it in like tights and a cape and give them lightsabers to fight. I mean, suddenly, like, people are like, I'm in. I'm eating popcorn and enjoying the heck out of this. So, to me, that's kind of been the switch. It's kind of to bring a legitimacy to it and say, look, there's a lot of fascinating, deeper stuff that's going on here, but there is a reason that comics have been around for as long as they have, that these characters have been around. They're the closest thing we have to an American mythology. It's no accident that people retroactively then go back and refit the Founding Fathers as this kind of, Justice League. I mean, our mythology kind of is that kind of aspect of wish fulfillment. It reduces it, but it also focuses it. Very interesting particular things that it does for us.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out episode 7. That was the first time we've ever done anything that's about an idea as opposed to one person's unique story, even though there was a little bit of that too. If you like this, check out our other episodes, subscribe to us on Facebook and YouTube, and please, 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 please go check out our Patreon page and consider becoming a patron. That's the only way we can keep this show on the road, and we think it's an important show to keep going. Thanks, guys.